Hey, y'all. I hope you guys got a good maybe 15 minutes, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, to actually listen to this. This is going to be my last time, or at least going to be my real first time, really breaking it down. I say bits and pieces here and there, and I may have went live and discussed a question or two, but I never really just broke it down from the beginning to get the picture. I want to explain it in a way that was as I'm talking, you're visualizing. You know how you read a book sometime or you listen to somebody tell a story and you can actually see the picture rolling as if you're watching on TV or the movie screen. That's why I want to do it like this. But let me first start off by saying that I am not bitter. I am not mad. I'm not heartbroken about this marriage situation. I'm just disappointed in myself for moving in the way that I moved. And the reason why I did that was because Tony was somebody I knew from my past. And now I didn't count the cost of people getting older and not so wise, or getting older and having trauma and not, you know what I'm saying, being able to deal with it and seeing things differently, being delusional, having heartache themselves, having emotional, mental illnesses, and substance abuse, drug abuse, alcoholism, uh, just being an outright different type of person than you, but yet you thinking that they should see things a certain way or think the same way on when everything they say in you is the truth, due to the fact that you had a past with them, due to the fact that them too have also been through stuff that disappointed them in life, especially when it came to relationships. Them too, you know what I'm saying, should be wiser, just like you should be wiser, and you are. But there's some things that even though as you get older and wiser, you still can be foolish. You still can ignore some red flags due to the person that you're dealing with. You give them the benefit of the doubt. You think about how it was in the past, and that don't mean nothing. So take it from me, y'all. If you reconnect with somebody that you used to date 15 years prior, 10 years prior, 5 years prior, see where they are now. Check out their mindset. Check out their heart. Check out what they really been through. And remember, everything they tell you that they've been through and explain during their last marriage, relationship, job, or whatever, don't mean it's the truth. Don't mean it's a lie, but don't mean it's the truth. It's two stories. You know what I'm saying? Well, I guess it's pretty much three. His or her version, the other person's version, and the truth. So I just want to put that out there before I start explaining. I don't want y'all to think that, it ain't that serious, but yet don't talk about your marriage on social media. I agree with that. Not talk about your marriage on social media. Only if you're in the marriage and you want it to work and you're working on it and you're not ready to go nowhere yet. But once, you know how people, once something happened, like once their mom passed or once their husband passed, once their wife passed, they have a tell-all book. That's how I feel about this marriage. It's just that I'm still living in the same house. And just because I'm living in the same house with him don't mean I got to walk around on eggshells and can't express myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to pretend like, oh, this is that marriage just because we're married. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't what it may seem like from the outside looking in, which is the same thing I just explained about me not vetting him, and how we all should vet people, whether we knew them from the past, whether we just meeting them and they seem to be fun, high spirited, got a lot of money, got a lot of sense, got a good job, dress good, smell good, look healthy all the time. They can be, sick. So I'm gonna start my. I jotted some things down. I tried to do it in order, y'all. So bear with me. And I call it. This our title: The Reasons Why I'll Never Reconcile with My Husband. Number one, 3 weeks after moving in, I found out he was trying to cheat. Number two, 4 months later at my birthday party, he got drunk, mean, slash annoying, about to fight someone. Okay. Of course, it's details in there. I'm just giving you facts. I'm not going to go into why he was annoying at the party, but just know me moving out here May the 1st, 2016, 3 weeks later, May 27th, I found out he was trying to cheat with somebody at his job. Okay. Number two, 4 months later at my birthday party, which was September, he got drunk. He was mean and he was annoying. He was about to fight somebody. I didn't even know the person. It was my friend who I was celebrating with, her guest that came from out of town. He was about to fight them. Okay, let's go to number three. Number three, 2 months later, about Thanksgiving, I found out about another young lady, and he turned it all around on me. She happened to be a young woman. She was of African descent, full African lady who just relocated, and I guess he met her through a friend or who knows through the job. I don't know. Anyway, 2 months later, like I said, about Thanksgiving, I found out about this other young lady, and he turned it all on me and said he wanted me to leave, and he was going to be with her. So he called himself giving me some time to leave, and was asking me from time to time, when you think you'll be able to leave. Now, mind y'all, I done relocated 2.5 hours away to come back to close to where I live at, where my mom, brothers, and everybody, cousins live at, to be with him based off the past that I used to date him. And I'm thinking he just got to be old and wiser now, because we was both in our 20s, you know what I'm saying? Then I should have vetted him. At my age, about to be 50, I should have vetted him. And I kind of knew it, but I kind of like was saying, well, you just thinking negative. It's all good. It's all good. I see a little flashing sign, you know what I'm saying? Not a blaring, but just a little bitty, that little blare sign you see out the corner of your eye. It was that. So I couldn't really get mad at him like that. I took responsibility. I did then, I do now. Okay. Um, Now keep in mind he was 46 and I was about to be 50 doing all this time. So cool. He was saying he gonna be with her, he going to work, doing this thing. We ain't really talking like that. And then one day he comes home and decides that, he wants to work it out. Okay. Let me keep on going from that. I'll just probably come back to that part. And the next thing I jotted down is I found him sending dick pictures to his ex-girlfriend who he was claiming to still be in love with. At this time, we were married. Okay, I'll get to that part too, why I end up marrying him. Okay, number four, his so-called best friend made a pass at me. Now this you can fast forward. This ain't all like one day after the next or 1 week after the next. Some of these things took 2, 3, 4 months to happen. I'm just calling them out as things that stood out to me. His so-called best friend made a pass at me, but he never said anything. And the same friend at another time called me a bitch. That's on a whole nother occasion. Pretty much letting me know, I'm talking about my husband. He was pretty much letting me know that he didn't care about me. And that's when I was done. And that was about, I say 2019, about to be 2019, because I got there in 2016. We got married in 2017. We moved in this house 2018. So yeah, this is about either 2018, 2019. I'm going to say 2019. Could have been like the end of 2018. My memory ain't really, really good on that. But stay with me. I was officially done in 2020, though. Telling him it was a wrap, after all the back and forth arguing and uh, all the different shit he was doing or whatever like that. Let me see. I'm jotting these things down, y'all, so I don't get lost. Hold on. Hold on, y'all, because I'm pre-recording this, y'all. This is gonna be in my long form video. I might go live later too, y'all. So I hope y'all check this out before the end. Okay, let me go back. Okay, like officially in 2020, after you analyze stuff, everything I named to y'all that's going on in my head, I'm visualizing the arguments we had. I'm calling the police on me and my daughter a couple of times, telling me to leave more than one time. He would get mad at me and lock me out the bedroom. I couldn't go through either door because there's two ways to get in. He would lock me, and then he'll come out a couple hours later and say, "Come on in here." You know what I'm saying? And he did that a lot of times, and probably the first 2 times I did go back in there. But after that, I was like, I just moved my stuff out. I just kept things in there that I don't use that much, and they had no room else for it, so I would keep it in there. So I stopped sleeping in there. That was 2020. It's 2024. I've been sleeping in this same recliner chair, which is on this last leg. So y'all, me wanting to be monetized is I got a big goal, which is that house. But yeah, in between that, just being able to live, having money for a rainy day, taking the kids out on some fun trips, you know what I'm saying? Because all they have lost, they not really doing nothing. They not doing much. It ain't a lot I can do financially, and things are going on so horrible in the world. You got to be careful where you go, especially with 5 kids. But if I had more money, I at least can put it to the side and then plan something great for them to really enjoy for like a good 3-4 day vacation. And as well, like I said, that house is my goal, to stack enough money, to be able to make enough money, to be able to get enough viral videos to where I'll be able to get enough coins and stack them up as if it's the last, because we don't know when it's going to end. Okay, here we go. Let me go back. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm gonna pick up right back here. He has called the police on my daughter and I on more than one occasion. He has been mean to the kids. Doesn't say too much to them now. It's like, he's gotten better at some things. He chooses picking his battles, but at the same time, no underlying issues, whether he's thinking them or talking behind my back to somebody else about them or really feeling them, they're there. Just because a person may act differently, that don't mean that they still don't think lowly of you or they being fake with you. And that's what he is. He's being fake because I know that because it'll be good on good. Like I said, he ain't been saying nothing. He don't be tripping like he used to. He'll trip, but he don't be tripping nowhere near like he used to. But then when he come out on it and be in that trip bag, all that shit that I thought was gone, that he got over it, it'll come up. So that's how I know it ain't really real. So he actually even had us served, me and my daughter served papers because one of them times that we had an argument, I think it was in 2019, it was before my mother passed away, and it was one of those like a little tussle, but not nobody really getting hit and not nobody on the floor, nothing like that. But it was like an argument, heated argument, and it stemmed from him trying to talk crazy to my grandson. And I didn't appreciate that, and his mother didn't appreciate that. He felt like us, I guess, because he was the man, it was his house, he paid the bills, that he could just say what he wanted to say. Nobody has a problem with another grown up that they trust and know to discipline kids. That's not the problem. The problem is a lot of these people, men, women, they don't know how to talk to people. And when you're going to discipline somebody's child, you got to correct them out of love, especially when you're doing it harshly in front of their own parent. You're disrespecting that other parent. Because believe me, if it was the father here, he wouldn't have did that. But he felt like since my daughter was a younger woman and he felt like she needed to stay here and he was paying the bills, that he could just talk to anybody in type of way. He'll have his good moments, don't get me wrong. He'll give you money, he'll be you big, he'll order food, he'll do all that. But he was wanting to control everything. He wanted things to go his way. And he just be real nasty. And they little kids. Like at the time Malachi was 11 going on 12. So we didn't like that. So after that happened, 3-4 days later, he come say somebody at the door for you. And that was the sheriff to serve me and my daughter papers. We had to actually go to court. But since it was the time that everything was shut down, we had to have Zoom on had the court on Zoom. And he ended up saying he didn't want to go no further with it, so they dropped it. Because by this time, he trying to be cool and we ain't really talking, but we being kind of cool. And he know he was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Got on Facebook making this big long post talking about me and my daughter. And I wasn't his friend. I don't know how I seen that when somebody told me. And sure enough, yeah, I was like, okay, I didn't get in the comments to say nothing. I just act like I didn't see it. But it's just another thing I'm adding up. Okay, here we go, y'all. Stay with me. Here we go. He will argue and act a fool in front of my mom. When she'll come visit on the weekends, whatever, and we have a couple of words, it could be something small, but he'll blow it up and go crazy, like loud, yelling to the top of his tongue like that, supposed to intimidate me. The more he yelled, the more I yelled. The more he get in my face, the more I was in his face. I was too crazy to back down and act like, oh, I'm so scared. No, no, I wasn't no Ike and Tina over here. I'll confront him. So like I said, he would argue and act a fool in front of my mom, even while she was on hospice. She back there hyperventilating on her last leg, scared because she didn't like it. Even when she was healthier, she didn't like to hear us arguing. She'd be trying to talk me down and try to calm us down. Now, after she passed away, we got into an argument. Police came. He calls the police. I do believe he called. No, let me take that back. This is the first time and only time I ever called the police. All the other 3-4 times, even before we moved to this house, he get mad and want us to leave, he called the police. I'm like, for you to be so smart, PhD, college guy, even taught classes, got a good, decent job, you know what I'm saying? He just don't have a lot of common sense, stinking thinking, educated fools, so to speak, because they would never put us out. So this time he was acting crazy, and I called the police because I felt intimidated, like he was going to try to walk up on me. And now I ain't got no daughter here. My other daughter wasn't here, and all I got is my grandkids. So I ended up calling the police. Do you know when they got here, he was talking shit. The way he was telling this story, it was very aggressive. As opposed to saying, officer, I'm sorry you had to came out here, but this is what happened. And tell this side of the story. He was just acting like they wasn't there and knocked my mom's picture off the wall. And the police got mad and took him out of here, and they locked him up. Yeah. Then, okay, my daughter passed. Okay, that when that happened, my daughter was alive when he knocked the picture off the wall. No, she just wasn't here. Okay, I had to take that back for a minute. She was not passed away yet. My mother was, but she was just on her one little rendezvous 2 day away, either at my cousin's or her boyfriend house type of thing. Like I explained to y'all before that she would do at home all week, working from home, doing everything she gotta do by her kids, everything. You know what I'm saying? Do what she needs to do. And then those little 2, 3 days, either be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, she'll be gone. So this happened during that time. Now let's fast forward some. Uh, this after my daughter passed away. Um, he used to have his best friend, the same one that tried to make a pass at me, the one that called me a bitch. Now, me and his best friend was cool, you know what I'm saying? But from time to time, we just, bumped heads on some shit. But basically, we was cool. And that one time, me and Tony had an argument, and he came back after he said he dropped Tony off somewhere. And then he was talking, trying to calm me down or find out what happened. And that's when he made the pass. So it was one of those type of situations. So I don't think that's really that deep for me to get all into. I'm sticking to the subject at hand, is why I never reconciled with Tony. Now, this same best friend had an ex-girlfriend. So I guess she got in touch with him and brought her over this way, or they all went fishing. They all did something together because he couldn't take her to his house as he's a married man now. So if you're going to keep in touch with your exes, whether you the man or the woman, and you got a good rapport with your ex, even if it's not sexual, that your husband and wife is not going to like that. So I imagine that when she texts her or she texts him, and he's like, well, come on, meet me, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go get my guy, Rock. I don't think Tony knew her like that. At least that's what he told me. I think he may have heard of her or may have met her one time, but it wasn't like they all used to kick the bobos back in the day. No, that was not it. So with that being said, with his best friend not basically living 3 or 4 blocks away, she would come over here and he would sometimes come meet her over here, or they all be in the backyard, not in this house necessarily. They mostly be in the backyard because it was summertime. They'd be in the garage, or then they end up driving away to get more beer to go whatever. And that's why he would never keep the door locked. He would just go out that door, come back in, use the bathroom, go out that door, come back. And I didn't like that because he wouldn't be in front of the back door. He would be on the side of the house by her truck or in the garage where he couldn't see if somebody was to come in. Now I'm paranoid. I lost my daughter. I already lost my mama. I'm not the same person. I'm not feeling safe. I'm feeling like something in my stomach, something in my soul missing. So every little thing you do around me at this point, especially since we weren't getting along before she passed away, I'm looking at you funny style. I'm not trusting you. I don't feel safe with you. But he couldn't get that. So she would come over and she would never. Now, I met her one time before my daughter passed away. Everything was fine. They all had went fishing, and they both came back and say they got into an argument with your mom, blah, blah, blah. And they was telling me about it, and we was kicking the bobos. And then one time when I had a birthday party, I remember I checked her. I do remember that's probably why she don't like me now that I'm thinking about it. She was supposed to come to the party, and Tony claimed he paid for her stuff because you had to pay $25. If you was going to get a dinner, you was going to get free entertainment, 3 comedians, you know what I'm saying? It was a whole little package deal. And she didn't come. So when Monday after my party, she pops up on the porch. And I told her about her. So I said, well, you ain't got no money for that. If Tony paid your ticket and you didn't show up, and I just started getting in her ass. So I guess from that point, she didn't like me. Because when every time she came over after that, especially after my daughter passed, she never came in, but she'd come use the bathroom. She never gave her condolences. She wouldn't even speak. And then I was telling him about it, and he would say, that's my friend, and ain't nothing you could do about it. She ain't got to speak to you. She said you mean, blah, blah, blah. Come on now. Seriously? Y'all heard what I just explained. I lost my daughter. We already had some type of engagement before. Just because I let her know that I didn't appreciate her not showing up after Tony paid for the ticket because he gave me the money for her ticket to come. Why would you not come on that Friday, Saturday, but here come Monday, you sit on the porch with beers for him? That don't make no sense to me. Okay, let me keep going. Even his daughter, I fell out with his daughter. We fell out with his daughter when we first moved here in 2018. For somehow they end up back reconciling and hanging out, going to her house. She coming over here. And she wouldn't speak. She never gave her condolences. And that's fine. That's your daughter. You're supposed to reconcile. But that was then, because now they're not even speaking again. She told him and his mama that they was dead to her. That's another story for another time. So basically, I'm just breaking it down to why I know I'll never reconcile. I know a lot of people feel like marriage is sacred and let no man put us under what God put together. I don't feel like God put us together. I feel like God allowed it to happen because God knew my mom was going to pass 4 years after the fact that I moved here. And if I was still staying 2.5 hours away, it would have been longer, harder for me to actually get to her unless I found out earlier and talked her into moving with me, which would have been a whole nother thing. I would have been down there with just me, my grandkids, and my daughter because my first husband had left. I don't know if we would have reconciled, even though he said at that time, at one time, that he would have came back. But I didn't trust it because, what I'm saying? I ain't saying that he was lying, but I just felt like that was too soon. And since we had broke up, got back together, broke up, got back together on more than one occasion, I just wasn't trusting him. But we cool to this day. I mean, he's a good man. He always has been a decent person. Perfect? No, nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? No, I would never say that. But overall, he's a very decent human being. And he's cool and I care about him. I don't want no ill will to happen to Tony at all. I appreciate everything he's done. I don't like him as a person. I don't like his ways. I don't trust him. And I'm not in love with him. So that's how that go. No, I'm not in love with my ex or anybody else. I don't want to be in no relationship with anybody. So let me finish this and end this story out. Now, after all that shenanigans, my daughter passed away and having these parties and these little shindigs in the back, and we arguing about him leaving the door open back and forth, and he not caring about my feelings. I wasn't saying I had a problem with her coming over here as his friend. My problem was because I already told you we broke up. I'm not trying to reconcile with you, but I want to be respected no matter who you have as a guest, whether it's your male friends, your daughter and her boyfriend come over here arguing at one point, your son, you know what I'm saying, your best friend's ex-girlfriend, whoever. It should be respect. You got to respect the house. Why would you leave the door open? It's different stuff like that. It wasn't about who he was going to be with. I was glad he was going. I wish he just would have went over there and spent some nights, spent some weekends and stuff, but he wouldn't. So now fast forward after all that kind of died down, summer kind of ended and they ain't really coming around like that. I don't know if they fell out or what. Then he started talking about how he wants his marriage back. All the while saying this, he said about 3 or 4 different times. He drunk. He drunk as hell. He looked bad. He smelled bad. He's slurring. It's just a bad look. Nobody wants nobody on their arm looking like that. You want your man, you want your woman to represent. You know what I'm saying? You want people to find them attractive, to think they're a good person or a decent human being. I didn't care about how his face looked. I knew he was ugly back when we was 20-some years old. You know what I'm saying? If I was going to go on physical appearance, but to me, he was handsome in the 20s, that tooth missing. He could dance his ass off. He had swag. So when you young, especially when you young, got swag, and you got a good job and you got personality, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of finesse and charm your way, and you know what I'm saying? You can kind of get away with some shit, but you get 45, 55, 60, and you still thinking you that same person, and you got more, trauma and evilness in you from all the shit that you allowed to happen to you, all that extra drinking you went through, all them heartaches and people using you, relationships went bad and sour, women using you, you having to pay for ass or whatever it was. Now you get with me, instead of saying, oh, wow, now I can finally relax. I got back with somebody who I've always wanted to be with. Now I get a chance to, let's start over and really see what it do as a grown man and as a grown ass woman. No, that was not it. So I'm telling him, no, I don't want that. Now, ain't no sense me confusing you. I'll stay here until I can find a place to move. Or if we could stay here and get along and you good with how I'm feeling and you respect the house, and we can go on and find out how we're going to make this work financially. Because I'm not giving up no 50-50. I don't give a damn if I'm not going to be your wife in that area. I'll just go do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Where I can be happy at. But to be 50-50 or paying a lot of bills on a regular basis with somebody treating me like that, disrespectfully, keeping the door open, nasty ass house, go to the bathroom, leaving nasty, go in the kitchen, messing shit up, being mean, want to start arguments, flaky, then come back what you want. You want anything? All that shit, all that toxic shit. Y'all know how some alcoholics are. Some people are with mental illnesses and stuff like that. To me, Tony is a gaslighter manipulator with an emotional problem, a drinking problem, which affects his ability to think and remember. and to be consistent, because he blacks out. He don't even remember the shit he say. He won't even remember. He's to this day, he think I stole his car and bought my own cell phones. I didn't need no money down for the cell phone. So he became confused and stuff. And to me, that's dangerous, because you sit here pondering and thinking that underlying, and you got an underlying issue with me. You just faking the funk because you telling yourself you want this marriage to work. No, you don't want this marriage to work. You just want control, and you don't want to look stupid after all the time we've been together, after you pretty much then bragged in the beginning and brought me up here, helped me get up here, because I had some of my own money too. So he don't want to look stupid. Just like I would say about how a lot of women don't want to walk away from them bad relationships or they bad marriages, because they invested so much and they don't want to look stupid and they don't want to lose. All the time they'll be winning though. And if it's meant to be, that person get themselves together for real, and you will know it. And then y'all can move on. But all that anyway, y'all, I think I pretty much touched on all the main factors. Of course, there's a lot of details within that stuff. I mean, from times of us playing cards with our neighbors to the phone ringing and being the young lady saying he ain't doing it no more. I didn't just, what I'm saying, I went back and forth a little bit. Let me go back real quick. I forgot. I said I wanted to touch on why I got married. Now, because when I first got down in 2016, that was the goal, to get married. We were seriously like, oh, we want to do this. We dated before. I really liked you then. You really liked me, but you were seeing somebody else. So we couldn't do nothing. But now we're both in another place. We're older, wiser. We've been through shit. We know what we don't want. We don't want to play no games. We old as hell. You know what I mean? I say old as hell. Of course we ain't old as hell, but you know what I'm saying when it comes to experience, knowledge, and wisdom. But that wasn't it. That was how I felt. You know what I'm saying? I was willing, but when I got to see how he was, all the lies, and how he neglected his body and over drank and talked crazy and shit. But I was scared. I got 5 grandkids and a daughter. We didn't have our own place yet. So I married him to be protected. So he couldn't put me out. So if something happened to him, if we married and he got insurance, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front the stunt. At first, my goal was to marry somebody that I used to date, who I really had love for. I wasn't in love. I had love for. I had some type of rapport and trust, and I'm feeling like, well, all this time I ain't never thought about him, and it was good. Maybe God sent you my way. It was one of those type of things. So I was trying to protect myself, and I don't regret really doing it. I regret I did it for the reason why I did it. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Marriage is a business. And nobody shouldn't be getting married off just no love. That's just ridiculous. Love ain't gonna pay nothing. So anyway, y'all, if y'all got any questions, if I missed something and it's not connecting for you, or if you got any advice, if you want to pray for me, you know what I'm saying? And this will be the last time I tell the story like that. Now I'll feel free. And I don't have a problem answering any questions. And we like to be on live, and people want to say, like, well, why? What's happening? They might have missed this story. I'll touch on it then. But this is the pre-recorded video about this situation. So people that wonder, like, or never really wonder, but it's like, okay. I know she was saying she's separated or single, married, maybe catch little pieces like that, but never really to the point of understanding, like, what is she talking about? Really not taking it seriously. But those of you who take it too seriously, like, oh, don't touch on your marriage on social media, it's not wise, it's good. You are absolutely 100% right. But that's only for people who really in the marriage, working on the marriage, want the marriage to work, crying every night, praying to God that their husband act right. You know what I'm saying? On their knee. I'm not doing none of that. I don't care what he do. I don't care who he sleep with. I wish I could move right now to a better place. I wish him the best. I want him to be safe. I want him to be happy. I don't want him to meet nobody to use him and come in this house after I leave out of it and to move somewhere else, and he allow somebody here and they hurt him, finesse him, telling him that that's their cousin all the time. It's their man. They got to hit with him because he one of them types you can really finagle him. You know what I'm saying? You can take his car. He go drunk and go to sleep. They being robbed him, hurt him. I don't want none of that to happen for him. But I'm not going to sacrifice. If I get a better opportunity, if I get to make these coins be monetized and make the money I need to make, I'm going. I'm going to find a place to go. And when I look out for him, I sure would. I would make sure this house note is paid. If I was making that type of money, I'm not no user. I'm not no uncaring person. I got mad love for Tony. And if I was to walk up on somebody trying to do something to him, I will take him away if I know he's still aggressive, because I've done it before. He be in the wrong, and I'll be asking them, please let me take him. But if he's not in the wrong and somebody just trying to do something to him, I'm going to try to get out that jam base where I can to protect him and us. But when he in the wrong, I guess in his ass, baby. He been in the wrong many times messing with people, thinking he running shit on this block. You know what I'm saying? Drunk shit. And they was about to tag his ass, but they said, you lucky your wife came. I mean, some straight up hood guys. Some of them was like 20 something, some was like 30, look like they was in their about 40s. And I came out there right in time to get him and protect him. And they had God moved they heart because they didn't look like the kinds that gave a damn. So with that being said, y'all, thank y'all for listening to my story time. I might go live today and I'm gonna try to put out some content because by me being monetized, me having a bad day of feeling depressed about my daughter and crying in the middle of the night, feeling angry and feeling whatever I'm feeling, I'm gonna bounce back. I'm gonna have those moments throughout my life. It might not happen once a month. Sometimes it might not happen every 3 months. The longest it's been, because it's been 3 years, but that shit hurt just like it happened yesterday. I'm still very mad and angry about it. But I'm keep on pushing on. Thanks to you guys. Send me your love, light, energy, great energy, prayers. When you really can pray right, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like knowing how to say the right words, but I'm talking about your heart being in the right place and being genuine about really caring about somebody else that you're praying for. You guys have a great Tuesday. I love y'all. And I really mean that. I'm not just saying it. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all at the Zoom meeting on the 7th. Email me so I can send you the passcode. And then my birthday celebration, me and TVL is going to do it together on TikTok, September 11th, 7 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you follow me over there. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.